Whoop, 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 whoop. Good morning, everybody. This is Brittany at Big Cat Rescue in Tampa, Florida. I am just firing this up to give you guys plenty of time to join in. We are going to be doing a feeding tour this morning with Lynda. Lynda's a master keeper coordinator on the volunteer committee. She picked out some very cool, exciting cats for you guys to see this morning. We traditionally do a feeding tour and a keeper tour every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday here at Big Cat Rescue, but unfortunately, due to being closed to the public because of COVID-19, we've been unable to give those tours, and they are really, really popular tours. You can see Priya looking at her plate just in case she's going to get a second breakfast. So Lynda's just loading up the cart with food as of right now and making sure she has all of her supplies. I wanted to start this a little early so we could give you guys enough time to join in. And Priya was hollering and wandering around and being silly, so I thought we'd walk over there. So we are just getting the cart loaded. We've got some unique cats for you guys to see today that Lynda's gonna got to get her energy. All right, I think we're good to go, Lynda. So you can see she's getting her energy going for her tour. So she's got all of our food loaded up. So we're going to see a good variety of cats today. And I've got our moderators in there. So yeah, so this is Lynda. Lynda's got one of our awesome masks. I think those went quick. Yeah, that's the one you have is the one I have now too. All right, well, shall we get going? All right, so we're gonna start with Purrfection, right? Purrfection. Okay. All right, so good morning, everybody. Again, if you're just joining, Lynda is going to be giving us a feeding tour this morning. We appreciate any of you that are sharing this feed to help us reach new people that have never learned about our mission here or what we do here. Lynda will give you guys a lot of good feeding tour information today. So thank you guys for sharing and answering questions, and anyone who donates today. You can actually get the same mask that Lynda's wearing if you go to bigcatrescue.biz and scroll down on our homepage, and there will be a link to the Cool Cats and Kittens masks. Jen's got one too. All right, well, we are just getting started. We're just now rolling up to our first cat of the morning. All the other cats on property have already eaten, so they're gonna act like they didn't, but I promise you, only the cats we're walking up to are the ones that, yes, that we are going to feed.
All right, so yes, this morning our first cat is going to be Purrfection. Purrfection is our sole remaining Ocelot on property, and this is her diet. So Purrfection is a cat who is frequently on meds, so this may not look like a lot, but that's because in the evening she gets a med, and so we want to feed her twice a day. So believe me, ocelots have tremendous metabolisms, and they could eat probably their whole body weight, but
Yeah.
this is enough for her this morning.
Yes.
And we'll go see her.
Yeah, and she'll get some more this evening. And what kinds of reasons is Purrfection on medications?
Purrfection and a lot of the ocelots are prone to hot spots particularly, so she has medication to prevent those and to help her with her skin condition.
Yeah. I told you guys that we'd have some cats along the way saying they didn't get breakfast.
King Tut.
That's King Tut saying he didn't, but we know he did.
There she is. Here's our beautiful girl right here. I'm going to put the food in, and then I'll join Brittany behind the camera, and we'll tell you about her. Come here, girl. Come on here. Come on, in walk out. Gotta be close to both those paws.
Yeah.
Paws. There you go,
Oh, Tut. She's quite grumbly this morning.
Yeah, I was hoping to get her vocalizations on camera there.
Yeah.
So just be quiet for a couple seconds. So as I was saying, Purrfection Ocelot has been on this property her whole life, actually. Mm-hmm. And she's 24 years old, so she's an old lady.
Very old lady.
But you wouldn't know it because she's still full of energy and good life. She actually was a cat that was born here back in the early 90s. Carole first started the sanctuary. You know, the only people that she had to go to for advice were other breeders on how to run a sanctuary. So they told her, well, you know, for conservation purposes, you should breed cats. And they did that for a while, but then she realized, I'm just putting this cat in another cage, and that's not fair to this cat. So in 1998, all breeding stopped here. And also they stopped purchasing animals as a way of rescuing them, because really when you're buying an animal, you're just supporting that pet trade. And that is something clearly that we want to end. It's one of our missions here, and we'll talk more about that throughout the tour.
Yeah,
if you could
great.
see Purrfection's paws, they're like very large considering the size of cat that she is. And that's a evolutionary adaptation whereby her paws are formed so that she can actually reach around a tree trunk. Now, ocelots are prevalent in the rainforests in South America. So they spend a lot of time in the trees. And she can not only climb a tree, but she can also climb down a tree head first. With those paws, they wrap around the tree trunks and hold her on. In fact, when I was a new volunteer and just learning how to clean the small cat enclosures, I'd often be looking for her, and I'd be like, I can't find her, can't find her. And then my trainers were always like, remember, Lynda, you have to look up. And sure enough, she'd be at the top of this tree, because this has been her enclosure pretty much her entire time here that I've been here, 10 years.
10 years, yeah.
And then you would call her, and so instead of coming down the tree trunk or down one of the limbs, she'd climb upside down across the cage wire. And she was so adept at that. She was a crazy girl.
I can only imagine.
Yes.
Well,
she's a little bit older now, and I don't think she does those crazy shenanigans anymore.
I've seen her go up the tree in the last like 3 years, but I've never seen her go across the top, and I never got to see how she was going to come back down either.
Right. But I just wanted to point out, like, so she still likes to be up high. So frequently, I don't know if you want to pan over to her platform.
Yeah. Oh, she's like second?
Second breakfast. Our platform building team built this special platform for her. She loves to hang out in the top up there next to that pot. And I don't know if you can tell, but this is a like circular staircase for her, so she can safely navigate up and down and not have to jump from the top.
Yep. Which is always fun at PM Meds time. To go.
You know she wants to.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, she's getting the last little piece of mush that fell out.
Yep.
I told you, she doesn't like to skip a meal, this girl.
That's funny.
Okay,
Yep,
girl.
every last piece. All right, well, we're going to move on. If you want to learn about Purrfection, I think a few people have put her bio in the comments, so bigcatrescue.org/Purrfection. 2 R's. Purrfection. Thank you so much for the 2 donations, too. I'm sorry I didn't see the names, but I think our moderators did, so we appreciate that. All right, and who was next? Oh, Shiloh. Oh, I love Shiloh noises. So we're going to go see Shiloh Bobcat. He's probably going to be quite frisky because, yep, his neighbors got it. I just hope none of them are paranoid, like, wait, why'd they hold my food back? Are they trying to catch me? Well, Well, this is exciting because these are not traditionally cats that you would have seen on our regular feeding tour, because we would only be showcasing cats that didn't mind groups, but also cats that you could see from the tour path, whereas we're really going behind the scenes now.
Oh, yeah. So this is Shiloh's diet. So unlike Purrfection's, who was cut up, Shiloh's got whole chicken thighs in here because clearly we want him to be able to chew through his food, work those teeth, get in between and clean them out.
Yep. And there he is right there.
Sorry to make you wait.
We're here. Yeah, we're here now, bud. He has the cutest noises.
Woo. Woo. All right, come on.
And so what he's going to run into is called a feeding lockout for anyone who is new. Maybe Lynda can tell us a little bit about the purpose of these once she gets the food into him. He is. That was a lot of talking. You can see it's a fine art to get the food in and on the plate without hitting the cat, because the cat the cat loves to be directly over the plate. There we go.
Get up closer. So, as Brittany said, Carole is a bobcat, and I think I read his bio at 35 pounds. He's our largest bobcat on property right now. So he's a big, big boy.
He is.
And he was rescued in recently. I think it was 2018.
Last
End of
September, because I was
18.
really sad because I was in Belize when they showed up and I wasn't here.
So less than a year.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Okay. Time seems to stand still here.
It does. It really does.
Occasionally.
It really does.
Turn that down. He was rescued with 2 other bobcats and a hybrid from a facility in California that had failed. Basically, they were being shut down, either from lack of funding or code violations. That's how we get a lot of our cats. We are the final destination for cats that have been bounced around at various facilities and breeding centers. And ultimately, because the owners don't put in what they need to, they don't build the right kind of cages, they're not giving them vet care or the proper food, the USDA or the Humane Society of the United States or somebody will come in and file a claim to shut the place down. And sanctuaries will get together, and together they'll place all of the cats in accredited sanctuaries. So we were able to take 4 cats from that facility. I think our rescuers flew to California, rented a van, and then drove back with the 4 of them in the back. So cross-country trip to safety. Bobcats are prevalent throughout North America. You'll find them in 49 of our 50 states because they can't swim to Hawaii, but and they range in all kinds of sizes. So Shiloh here, being the big boy that he is, would probably be a cat that would be better suited to living in the northern tier states where it's cold and snowy. Our Florida bobcats are typically a lot smaller and a lot skinnier. And this week we celebrated the release of Romeo Bobcat, one of our cats that we have rehabbed. We are a licensed rehabber in the state of Florida, whereby if a cat is injured or abandoned, a kitten or a cat hit by a car, they get brought here, they get the vet care they need. We have several cages on the back side of the property away from everybody, and we rehab them so that they can be re-released to the wild. And I know that Brittany is a rehabber.
Yeah.
She was there on the trip.
That was a big deal. That was a big
Her
one.
first start to finish rehab, right?
It was. He's going to get every last morsel.
So bobcats are, their primary prey would be rodents and things living in their environment. They're opportunistic. They'll hunt anything they can catch. They're actually quite strong little cats, despite their size. They've been known to take down small deer, animals much larger than them, which I always like to say, you know, those tractors and things that are called bobcats are called that way for a reason.
Yes.
Because they're very strong.
They're tough.
They're tough, man. Oh, he's going to find the mush that I left there.
You got a little morsel. Thank you for posting the links to our rehab program if you'd like to find out more information about that. There's a little bit of mush, which mush is more of a, there you go. Oh, it fell out.
Well, you can get it with your claws, or the cleaners will get it.
Yes, yeah.
Which they're going to be coming here any minute.
Yeah, mush is what we call, it's a carnivore diet, so it's basically the whole animal ground up, and it looks like hamburger to us, but it's got all the good nutrients in it for the cats, similar to what they'd get in the wild. So we call it their vegetables, and he actually wanted his vegetables. That's amazing.
He likes his food, for sure.
All right.
Okay, baby boy.
Well, we're going to let him finish that up. They're asking about how much food would a cat like Shiloh eat, typically.
Shiloh would typically get 8 ounces of mush, what we call a baseball size amount of mush, and whatever the food that we're feeding for the day. So today we're feeding chicken, so he got 1.5 thighs. It probably amounts to about a pound of food a day.
Yeah.
For a larger cat like him. Some of our smaller bobcats get like 12 ounces. Some of the older ones where we're really trying to monitor how much they eat, we weigh them every day and we make sure that they eat at least half or more of their diet every day.
Right. Yep. Perfect.
So we have some of the older, for sorry, the old lady.
Yeah.
Tom, Breezy. We want to make sure that they're keeping their weight on.
Yep.
So here's one of our feeders that are going around picking up leftovers.
Yep. She'll double check every plate from everyone that she fed, and if she has to log anything, it'll be recorded. And that goes straight to our vet team. So that's how we monitor every single day what the cats are eating or leaving. All right, and next one, Hutch. Oh, Hutchie! Hutchkins! He's gonna be all riled up.
He's gonna be like, what happened?
How dare they forget about me?
He's another vocal.
He's very vocal, yeah. I know they used to, on my lives, they used to love when Beecher was next door to Hutch because they just never stopped talking.
Yeah.
Little Flimster. Oh, see? Yep, let's show everyone. She's coming out of her shell a little bit. Hi, baby girl. Did you eat in lockout like big girl?
I hope so.
Pretty sure she did yesterday. Yesterday was the first day that I think she officially ate her whole meal in lockout. So, only took a few days of panic.
For those of you who are new, Smalls, Bobcat was moved to this enclosure earlier in the week. She's one of Brittany's favorites, and so she was a little bit nervous about the move, and so she was not coming out to eat, but Brittany made sure she ate every day. So.
Every day. And then Dylan got her on my first day off this week, and then I think, I'm not sure who fed her yesterday, but yeah, took a few days, but she got there.
All right. Where is this?
I know, he's like not out here
he's
screaming.
Like, oh, people.
Yeah, they gave I'm just gonna go lay down and just there he is. Did you think we forgot? So this is Hutch Serval. Are you getting breakfast finally?
Yeah, buddy, we didn't forget you. You're gonna be the star of our show today.
That's Nikita Lion roaring in the background. So again, this is just a feeding lockout. You saw where Hutch ran over from. He's got quite a large enclosure with a lot of different bubbles connected with tunnels and doors, and we can shift him around if we ever needed to. And this is just his feeding area where he's got a concrete block that Lynda's able to drop the food on. He's got fresh water in there.
hear that Hutch is getting an expansion.
I did hear that, yeah.
So
Soon.
I cleared out this bubble back there for him.
Yeah, soon that door will open and he'll have all of that. Yeah. I haven't seen anybody in that enclosure in a long time, so it'll be nice to...
So Hutch is a serval. Her servals are from Africa. They occupy a lot of the same territory as your prides of lions, your leopards, your cheetahs, etc., etc. And so as a small cat in that kind of environment, you have to be exceptionally feisty and aggressive in order to survive. So despite the fact that servals are relatively small cats, they have a big attitude, or catitude as we like to say. And so just people think that because they're smaller in nature, they're good for pets. And they are frequently, if not always, proven wrong. Because some things are hardwired into their aggressive behavior. The servals, Hutch is actually one of our more social, I would say, servals, but he's never like a purr. He doesn't purr. He doesn't like rub. Mostly, he just wants to get at us. As you can see, he's like, "You got more?
What else is in your hand?"
He'll stick his head out if he wants to. He'll stick those really long legs out. So here at Big Cat Rescue, we have what's called the 3-foot rule. When we walk around the side of an enclosure, we want to make sure we're staying outside of 3 feet because we are a strict no-contact facility. And as we clean and go around the enclosure looking for their feces and other debris, we want to make sure that we don't accidentally get in contact with the cat if they're reaching out. And these servals are known for that.
Yes, he's got very long, reachy legs.
Yes.
And he's fully clawed, which isn't actually super common here. A lot of people that try to have these servals as pets end up declawing them, thinking it'll make them safer, and it doesn't, because then they become biters. But there goes a paw. Hey, sir.
So one of the things that we try to do with our servals and every other cat here on property is train them actually not to reach out with their paws. And actually he's doing a pretty good job today.
Yeah, it's not bad.
We do that through our program called operant conditioning. It's a protocol based on positive reinforcement. So we come out with a stick and some treats on meat, and we offer them treats if they do the things that we ask them to do, like come into lockout, or stay, or come over this way. You know, say we want to shift him, we want to walk him over to the other side. So we use a long stick, and we treat them when they do the thing that we ask them to do. And one of the tricks, especially with the servals, is to treat them without them sticking their head or their paws out, because that's something we don't want to reinforce. So we want them to sit calmly. I think this would be a perfect way to hit them right here. What you got there? Got something
What's
stuck
in there?
Hmm?
Did you just realize you had food in your mouth the whole time? You probably did. Was it in your cheek?
There you go. So actually, if we could note this, and we could have our coordinator come out and look at him later, make sure he's not continuing to do that, because we don't want something stuck in the roof of his mouth. That's uncomfortable, and it could cause root decay if it stays there too long. So we've had many bobcats and other cats that get sticks caught in the roof of their mouth, and it turned out that they had to have their teeth removed after a while because we couldn't get it out. He looks fine though.
Yeah, that was too adorable. But yes, we'll definitely write that on your chart. Thank you, Fran, for the donation. We really appreciate that, you guys. You're just, I can't handle that face. Look at that face.
In terms of their hunting prowess, the servals are known to be exceptional hunters, and actually they have more successful kills per attempt than any of the other cats. They do this because they actually don't chase down their prey for the most part. They wait. They listen. You see how they have big ears, and they hear like a rodent or something scurrying through the grass. They'll pick up where the rodent is, and then using those big, strong, powerful legs, they'll propel them into the air and then pounce down on the prey, knocking them with a paralyzing blow to the neck and rendering them dead or incapacitated, and then they can go in for the kill. So all of those adaptations help them survive. They also have a beautiful coat of stripes and spots, which when they're laying on the ground, sometimes they're hard to spot because they look like a pile of leaves. So
Yep.
definitely camouflage happening here for them as well.
Thank you, Laura. Yeah, I think the servals are definitely some of the best camouflaged cats here. Like, they can blend into anything. The palmettos, the leaves, the grass, like, all of them are that way. And the sunshine, when it spots on them, you almost look right over them.
Yep.
It's pretty cool. All right, bud.
But our cleaners, our feeders, are trained to make sure that we do spot every cat in their enclosure every time we're out here. So
Yep.
can't hide.
Nope.
Can't hide too long.
Nope, not too long anyway. You can get a good laugh in when they walk by you the first time. All right, everybody's favorite boy is next. We've got Jinxie.
There he is, waiting for us.
Yes, he's like, I'm right here.
He's not even gonna hide.
No,
he's like, nope.
He's not even gonna flat cat today. He's like, I'm right here. He is still on funcation. I think he's got another week or so. And so you'll see his diet will be a bit bigger.
Yes, so he'll not only does he have the thighs, but he actually has a bone-in
Oh,
drumstick.
nice. Fabulous.
Here's some crunching. We'll hear some crunching.
Yes, we didn't get any crunching on the last feeding tour, so this will be good.
So if you notice that we're going to do what's called a protective feed. His guillotine door is down. This is required for all the class 1 animals we have here on property, as well as some of the smaller cats who are aggressive. So safely put this in here.
So there is Jinx. Lots of chicken today. Chicken drum, chicken thighs, and the carnivore diet mush.
Eat some. All right.
And then she has to open his door. And then it hooks on a pole over here so that our hands never have to go on the cage.
Crunch, crunch, crunch. So Jinx is a black leopard, Asian leopard, and with the sun shining on his head right there, you can actually see that he is still spotted underneath all that dark brown fur. Technically, it's not really black, but they're referred to as black leopards, which is what's called a melanistic trait. Black leopards can be born in the same litter as golden leopards. It's like the difference between Brittany being blonde and me formerly being a brunette. Now I have gray hair. So sad. But anyway, so leopards occupy areas in both Asia and Africa. So it's one of the few cats that actually cross over 2 continents. And they are exceptional hunters. They do live a solitary life, so they are able to run at exceptionally high speeds, getting up to 40 miles an hour. They can jump 20 feet in distance to attack their prey. And one of their specialties is climbing. So as you can see, he has a really long tail.
Yes.
Long tails on a cat generally indicate that they're used for balance. Leopards will kill their prey and then haul their prey up into the treetops, therefore securing it for them for future feeds. So if an African leopard kills an antelope, it can drag it into the tree and eat from it from like 2 to 3 days. It'll save them from packs of hyenas and prides of lions that also share their territory. And I think they've also been known to take down animals as large as wildebeests in Asia. So it's they're very strong, agile, stealthy animals. Jinx was owned by a private family in Ohio, and the state of Ohio found that there were in code violations, caging and other issues, so the state of Ohio seized Jinx and other cats, including 4 tigers that we currently have here as well. And for a long, long time, Jinx was part of what we called our witness protection program, whereby after the state seized the animals, there was a long and drawn-out legal battle for the state to actually have ownership of the cats, as opposed to this family. So nothing made us happier on the day when we were told that Jinx and the other tigers would be part of our permanent family here, because after 4 years of loving and taking care of them, it was like they were going to have to fight us.
The thought of losing any of them was, that was rough.
So, again, the state of Ohio was a state where there was very few laws on the books, and a lot of people ended up owning large cats like this. After the Zanesville tragedy in 2011, where the gentleman who owned 56 exotic animals on his property let them all loose and then killed himself, the state of Ohio decided to put some laws on their books. And so eventually a lot of the owners failed to meet the new codes, so we've gotten several cats from Ohio.
That seems to be the place. Hi sir, can we get a close-up real quick? Hi silly. Look at that silly boy. I've been missing you. You are a clean plate president, I think. Isn't he beautiful? You gonna hang out right there? So Lynda, I did have a question pop up if you want to talk a little bit about the different classifications. You mentioned it when we came up to Jinx. Somebody asked about the different classifications.
So So I know the class 1 animals are larger cats, which generally cats are broken down into 2 groups by the zoologists, which are lesser cats and greater cats. But I'm not exactly sure about the classifications, but I know that from our cougars, our leopards, our jaguars, our lions and tigers are all in that class 1 animal, which is a larger cat, obviously, more dangerous. Deadly. So I should do my homework and figure out and be ready for the next time somebody asks me this question. I have to be honest and not know the actual definition, but it'd be a good research project. To look that up.
It's a great question. Thank you guys for asking. Well,
you can see his spots on his belly.
It's a full belly Jinx. We would never forget about you. All right, well, we still have a couple cats left. I think we're gonna go see Aries cougar and Max tiger, and I think we're gonna wrap up with Beecher. Does anybody have any last minute questions about Jinx? Where are we going? So he's in Funcation, which is 22,000 square feet. We can kind of pan around and show you. You saw that he was eating breakfast in a feeding lockout like all the other cats, but he's got all of this to himself for a month.
Right. The permanent enclosure is just next door, and we'll show you the tunnels that we use to move him across. Hi, handsome. Yes, aren't we currently trying to add a camera?
We are,
so that the explore.org viewers can enjoy seeing our cats on Funcation, right?
We are, I think they're fundraising. I thought I saw a fundraiser on Facebook to raise the $6,000 for the camera, but they've already installed the electrical.
Cool.
So we're a step in the right direction.
The power is always a problem.
Yes.
The power and the Wi-Fi strength.
Yes, exactly. Oh my gosh, look how darling this is.
Zakari is one of our youngest cats here on property. He came here as a 3-year-old. I think he's like 5 or 6 now.
Yeah.
So.
Oh my Lord.
Unlike most of our cats. So like Jinx is over 20.
Yes, and they were asking, has Jinx been primarily healthy since he's arrived? I think he's done really well,
He did spend some time in the hospital last year. He had some issues. I think the dental issues tend to be Prevalent in
Pretty
our older
common.
cats because in the wild, a cat like Jinx would probably only live to be about, at most, 10 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So when you get to be 20, you get some old age issues, and rotting teeth is one of them.
Yes,
so we have a
absolutely.
lot of dental work being done on our older cats here, but we're fortunate enough to have wonderful vets who come in to do that. We have dental specialists who can even do root canals on our cats.
Yep.
And we have a state-of-the-art hospital right here on property that was built several years ago through a successful fundraising effort back then. It's got all of the state-of-the-art equipment in there, from an x-ray table that can hold up to a 700-pound tiger, a special operating table, dental equipment, the anesthesiology equipment, etc., etc. So thank you, donors, once again.
Yes,
for that.
we couldn't do any of this without all of your guys' donations and sponsoring the cats and all of that. So thank you guys. My goodness, Yukari. You couldn't let the feeding tour go by without showing you. He's actually one of the cats that would have been on a traditional feeding tour if you'd come here in person. But since we are closed to the public for COVID-19, the only way that we can show you guys these tours is on the virtual ones. So thank you again to the 10 people that have donated. And while we're moving along, they did also ask if we ever hear Jinx make any kind of vocalizations. I don't really, but...
I've never heard him. I know that people have said they've heard him what they call sawing, which our leopards make. It's sort of a... It's not really a roar, because as a greater cat, cats technically deemed to be able to roar, but it's like a har. I could go.
Yeah. it to me, like,
so distinctive.
yeah, it is. Yeah, to me, hearing the sawing, it's like a chainsaw noise, but yet not as. It is very hard to explain. It's very interesting.
To me, it's almost like when you saw a piece of wood, you go.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's broke. It's not like. Rrr. It's very distinctive, in and out kind of breathing.
The only one I ever heard was Armani. Yeah. So, and hers was very unique because she was croaky.
Since she passed, so it's got to be Jinx.
It has to be, yeah. Jinx, or I do know Manny has started making noise recently, so. And his to me, the first time I ever heard Manny make a vocalization, it sounded like a dirt bike starting up. And I literally thought it was a dirt bike on the other side of the wall, and it wasn't. It was Manny.
All right, and big body.
Yeah, so we're going to see Aries Cougar.
Aries has a huge enclosure.
He does,
He
yeah.
may not know where his food's going to be delivered to him. Aries!
Thank you again for the donation. We really appreciate that. Come on, bud.
We may have to go look for him.
Oh, I thought I heard some crunching back there.
Hey, come
Oh, it's a bird. Aries, he's like, I can't believe you forgot about me.
You go look for him?
Yep.
We're going to whatever lockout.
Yeah. He does have a huge space. He's got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think he's got like 10 bubbles, and each bubble is about between 12 and 1,800 square feet. Oh, thanks. So we'll watch out for this sneaky boy. Here's Manny. Manny is not getting a second breakfast, but he would think that he definitely should be. I'm gonna laugh if he was like hiding right over there. He's usually very oh, there he is. We just had to wake you up. Sure, wherever. So she's gonna make sure she closes that lockout before he gets here. He's very feisty. He likes to chew and bite on the wire. So, yeah. I know. She's getting it. So he has some drums in here too. Cougars are spring loaded.
So Aries is a cougar, as we said. Cougars are prevalent throughout North and Central into South America. But they go from a variety of names depending on what geographic region that you're in. Out west in the Rockies, you'd refer to them as mountain lions. In Texas and Mexico, you could call them a puma. Down here, we call them Florida panthers. So a Florida panther is a specific subspecies of the cougar. There's different names, like in the Northeast, they were referred to as catamounts, but unfortunately, due to hunting and the eastern cougar has been deemed extinct. So cougars are considered game animals in this country. Hunting does continue, especially in the western states. They have quotas every year where they are allowed to kill so many of them. Their numbers are dwindling. Hopefully at some point we can get them on an endangered species list. Technically the Florida panther is on that and is protected, so you cannot hunt and kill a Florida panther. Their populations are starting to rebound, but unfortunately they're sort of landlocked down in South Florida, so there's inbreeding issues, which was a part of the reason why they were getting so low in number back in the 80s and 90s. In fact, Aries cougar here was a victim of hunting because his mother was killed by a hunter in Idaho. Although it's illegal to kill a female during breeding season or kitten season, if you were to look at Aries versus a female, you would not be able to really tell a difference other than size. And if you're 200 yards away, that's hard to gauge. So the hunter did realize that the mother was lactating and obviously would have a litter nearby. He was able to find the kittens and turn them into the state. So while the hunter killed their mother, he did save the kittens. So unlike most of our cats who were born in captivity through breeding programs and other places that exploit and sell cats to the public, I think Aries' story is particularly sad because he had the chance to be a wild animal, but now he's had to live his entire life in a cage. He originally came here with 2 siblings, his brother Orion and his sister Artemis. Sadly, they both passed away very close to each other about 4 months ago. I don't think I'm really over that yet.
No, I don't think anybody is. Yeah.
So he's our last cougar here on property, and he's one of my favorites. So I love the cougars.
Yeah. I never realized how amazing bobcats and cougars were until I started here. You know, most people think of big cats, they think of lions and tigers.
Right.
And coming here and getting involved and instantly realizing just how amazing cougars and bobcats are, and they live in our country.
Right.
Like, they are America cats, you know, and we should be protecting them. Yeah.
And the lynx too.
And the lynx, the lynx.
I get to see Gilligan today, our Canada lynx, but
yeah.
he's awesome too. They're all awesome.
They are. He's gonna get every last bite.
So cougars are frequently considered to be quote-unquote ghost cats because they're so quiet and so stealthy that if you were in the woods out west, a lot of the times you wouldn't even know there was a cougar nearby. And they stalk their prey and they run and jump on the back of the neck, deliver a swift bite to the back of the neck, and therefore killing their prey instantaneously. The reason why that Aries and his siblings could not be released back to the wild is they were very young. They came here as kittens, possibly only 3 to 4 weeks old. So even when they got here, they had to be bottle fed and handled quite a bit. So when the cat gets habituated to humans, you can't release them to the wild. There'd be no way to train them because cats will spend 2 years with their mother learning everything they need to learn. And unfortunately, he was not given that chance.
No.
So, just got bit by one of those yellow flies.
This section is really bad for them right now.
I love you guys.
Yeah. You finish those crumbs.
You get those crumbs, you clean that up.
Thanks for coming over finally. He's like, I just didn't really know what was happening. Chloe, yes, we technically could rehabilitate and release a Florida Panther here. We've just never had the opportunity. They've been able, you know, if they've been confiscated or found, unfortunately they've been sent to other facilities, and very few of them ever actually got released. But we would love that opportunity. We just haven't been called on for that.
A place up in Jacksonville that does that a lot?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, there are some other facilities that do. We have the cage space. When we built our Bobcat rehab area, we kept that in mind for the Florida Panther as well. All right, we're gonna go see our biggest cat on the on the tour today. Yep, so Max. Okay. Yeah, my cart's a mess. That's why I have the blanket. There's like not really a seat here anymore. But it runs. It's been running consistently for a while. I've always had cart issues, so
yeah, that's big.
it's still moving. So, all right. So we're gonna go see Max Tiger now. He's been doing really, really well post his neuter procedure, and his limping has subsided. So we didn't forget you, buddy. We're coming around the corner. And there's Simba, and you saw Kimba, but they've already had breakfast, so our focus will be on Max. Let's pull out of the way over here. And oh, both of his are down, so you've got the choice. Here he comes. Hi, mister.
He's got the biggest diet.
He does.
Now, one of the things he's got that the other cats don't have is this big red tenderloin.
Yep.
These are USDA grade for human consumption. Our cats eat really well.
Yes, they do. Hi, bud. Yeah, you were very patient. Very patient boy. So since he gets so much food, we have to make sure that we get it all piled on, because he has a giant head and he'll shove it right out of the side. So he's getting that big piece of red. He's getting chicken drums, chicken thighs. He'll have the carnivore mush as well. Being very patient. He was part of our most recent and our last rescue. That was this past November. I think when they first came here, they were getting about 16 pounds of food. We've reduced them a little bit because they have caught up so well. And we don't want them to get overweight, because an overweight cat in captivity would be really bad. So they've been scaled back just slightly. All right, so she has to get the door open. We'll come over here. Yes, it is. Whoa. He's like, I'll help. Dawn, actually, Max is not feisty during breakfast. He's the only one of the three that would really kind of let you get this close. Simba's like, but if you give me more, I'll let you come over here.
Yeah, I think it's so wonderful that Max has come out of his shell, and because for the first 2 months he was reclusive, he didn't like tours.
Yeah.
The number of people would be like, he'd be like hunched down, ears back.
Mm-hmm.
And so clearly working with our keepers here, feeding him every day, coming by with the cleaners, talking to him, kind of made him subdued of the three, like you said.
Yeah, because Kimba will roar in your face, no hesitation. Simba will only be aggressive if food is involved. Otherwise, he's pretty chill.
Yeah.
But he's sneaky.
Yeah,
and he pees on everything.
Yeah, including us. He will run up alongside with you. And whereas, Max is like, he'll walk along like chuff at you.
He's got a sly chuff, yeah. He actually kind of, his little swagger walk reminds me of Hoovie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who? Yes. One of my favorites.
Yeah.
Hoover. I think that, yeah, I think that's why I'm drawn to him.
I think
He's
so,
very
yeah.
Hoover-esque.
He is, yeah, he is. He's just like chill and kind of sly.
So as Brittany was saying, they're part of our most recent rescue. They came from Guatemala. So in Guatemala and southern South American countries, a lot of those have begun to outlaw live animals in their circuses, which is fantastic.
Amazing.
Which is something we haven't even done here yet in the United States. So Animal Defenders International facilitated that in many other countries, and then we're involved in the rescue of the cats from those circuses. So we mentioned Hoover. Hoover was rescued from a Peruvian circus. He was one of only 13 original cats that survived that ordeal.
Yeah.
Because you're not sure what happened to them before ADI found them.
Yeah.
These in Guatemala, I know ADI rescued a number of tigers and lions. We agreed to take the 3, and we supported them financially. From that day, we agreed to take them. It took 15 months to get all of the export paperwork done. A lot of that was due to the government shutdown.
Yeah, that did
At
not
that
help.
point, that did not help. And so we supported them throughout that, which cost us, I think, $85,000, I read, even before they got here. So a cat like Max might cost us $5,000 to $10,000 a year to feed and provide the vet care they need, medicines and everything else. So taking on 3 cats these cats, Max and Simba are only around 10.
Yep.
Kimba's the youngest at, I think,
like
4.
4, yeah.
So we've got, 15 more years, 10 to 15 more years with each of them.
Yep.
And those numbers add up quick.
Yep.
So with the shutdown and the inability to do tours, we're good on our commitment to these cats, but ideally, there's lots of other cats we'd like to rescue, but
Yeah.
we have to make those decisions very judiciously now.
Exactly. Yep. Oh my. Short work of all that. Yeah, a lot of people think that cats chew their food, but they really don't. Do you want to talk a little bit about how cat teeth actually work?
So they have their large canines in the front, which are for ripping and tearing. So if they were to catch a prey, they would use those large fangs to tear through and then bite off and tear off chunks. And then basically they just kind of grind down their food with their back molars, but pretty much swallow it in chunks.
Yeah, it's like a scissor slice swallow. Slice swallow.
Their tongues have all the barbs on them, which I'm sure if you guys have domestic cats, you'll know. When the cat licks you, it's very rough, like sandpaper. So those backward facing barbs on a large cat would be good for removing like the fur or the feathers off of an animal to get to the meat. Clearly in the wild they eat entire animals. Usually they'll go for the heart, which is blood rich, or the brains or the liver, the organ meat first. What we generally feed them as muscle meat is not the most nutritious, which is why Brittany mentioned earlier about the zoological mush. That's been fortified and includes organ meat and bones and what other things, so that they get the nutrients that they would be missing from not eating the whole animal in the wild. We do feed previously humanely euthanized whole prey to our cats, some of our cats, twice a week. So we do feed out white rats and small bunnies to our cats. We get them from a distributor who raises them for purposes of that.
Yeah, we never feed live prey. A lot of people like to ask about that.
Yes.
We feel like that'd be cruel because a lot of them may be able to catch it and kill it, then they want to play with it more than they want to eat it. So,
right, it's not a quick, fast kill.
No. We only do that for our rehab animals, the rehab bobcats that would be re-released into the wild, because we'd have to make sure that they are definitely capable of hunting and taking care of themselves. Listen to that tongue. That's concrete.
Yeah. Oh, but there's pieces on there. I'm gonna get them up. So, yeah.
Well, so far you've had a clean plate tour. Like, not one cat will we have to log for.
Hey, I pick them good.
Good, you did.
I know my cats. But yeah, obviously a tiger is the largest cat on the planet. I get upwards of most of our cats are somewhere in the 300 to 400 pound range here, but some of the larger Amur tigers out in the wild could get up to 700-800 pounds. We did have a tiger here, our first tiger, Shere Khan, who was I think weighed out at 750 at one point in his heyday. And they kill by strength. Really nothing is going to go up against them. I mean, they can kill, like I said, take down a big, like, wildebeest, water buffalo type of thing. You know, I don't think they're not the fastest animal, but they can still chase you. And mostly it's a lot of stealth and pouncing.
Yeah. Yeah, they're very sneaky. Very, very sneaky. You're so big, but you're so sneaky.
It's been, I'm not sure how they measured this, but supposedly tigers have the strength of 13 men.
I've heard that too. I'm like, what study created that? Yeah. Well, we do have one cat left, and I did speak too soon on the Clean Plate Club. We have Beecher. We're gonna go see Beecher.
I'm gonna bring a little tray.
And Beecher is notorious for getting distracted, and this is Simba over here. You already had yours. You did. All right, we'll go the long way around the block here, and then we'll head up to Beecher. Oh, yeah, those flies over by Aries were bad. So we'll have one cat left. Well, that was our largest cat on the tour today that you'll see, but now we're gonna go see one of the tiniest. And hopefully he'll be nice and chatty, because he's really bound to think we forgot to feed him today. So he did, but hopefully that'll make him hungry. Well, thank you guys again to all the 18 of you that have donated so far today, and thank you again to anybody who has been sharing this and helping answer questions for any newcomers. You know, you guys enjoying these are why we're able to keep doing this, and I've gotten so much good feedback every single week about how much you guys love these tours, so we're gonna keep them going as long as you guys are there to watch them, so thank you.
Is the donation button still there on the replay?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Because I have a lot of friends in California.
Yeah.
They're going to be watching it later.
Absolutely, yeah.
6 a.m.
That's usually how it works out, actually. I'll end a live, and then all throughout the day I'll keep seeing new donations. So, yeah, you guys have really stepped it up on these Sunday virtual tours. So we really appreciate that. It helps us a little bit to make up for the loss of, you know, the tour revenue. So, and again, if you want to learn about any of these cats, go to bigcatrescue.org.
Our cleaners are already here. They're gonna have to read.
Oh, I'll have to radio. Yeah.
Well, he's hungry. So.
Yep, it's because he hasn't had breakfast yet.
Okay. Oh,
Extra info. Hi, Beecher. Sorry we were so slow. You're our big finale. You're our big finale, sir. Hi, Pumpkin. This is Beecher.
variety of stuff in here, bud.
Mm-hmm.
You got your favorites.
Yes.
Fish, chicken, red.
Thank you, Nora. Yeah, the fish is always so difficult. It's so bouncy.
It bounces right off the plate. I know. That's okay. He'll find it.
Yeah.
So Beecher is a Savannah cat. And, well, you may be like, what's that? So if you guys remember Hutch, who was our African serval on our tour, Beecher would be a hybrid mix between a serval and a domestic cat. And a lot of people breed these hybrids because people will pay a lot of money to own one. They hope that they get an exotic looking cat that has the nature of a domestic. But more often than not, it's the opposite.
Yeah.
You might get an average looking cat that has the disposition of a wild animal.
Yeah.
So Beecher was purchased by a woman for $15,000 when he was a kitten. And she thought she got him young enough, she'll raise him, she'll bond with him, it'll be great. She spent 5 years trying to get this cat to be domesticated. Sadly, over the course of the time, she also declawed him on all four paws. But, as Brittany said earlier, if they can't claw you, then they're gonna bite you. He ended up biting her fiance and other family members, so she finally came to terms with the fact that Beecher was not deemed to be a pet, that she had to give him up. She had actually already been to Big Cat Rescue and heard the stories, but she still decided that to get one, thinking she could be different than other people. But she might be different, but the cats are not.
Yeah.
Cats are wild. So he's been here several years with us now. He's got this beautiful lakeside.
He does. He's got the honeymoon suite all to himself.
I know. With a waterfall and everything. He's frequently seen playing in his waterfall. So he has a lot of the nature, the mannerisms of a domestic cat, but which we see. But we've never tried to hold him or pick him up or put him in a box or make him use a litter box. So we haven't seen his real feisty side. So for him, I think he's got the best of both worlds.
Absolutely, yeah.
As far as, I mean, he was born into a hybrid trade. He's F1.
Yes,
F1
yeah.
is first generation. And so that's a direct descendant of a serval with a domestic.
Yep.
Technically, you're not really supposed to sell these cats until they're 5th generation down, thinking that 5 generations down will eliminate the wild nature.
Right.
But frequently that doesn't happen. It took thousands of years of evolution for the domestic cat to become domesticated.
Yeah. And mine still bites the crap out of me all the time, randomly.
Cats are cats, that's it. So if you think about that industry and how they just capture these wild animals from the wild, put them into breeding facilities, just breed the life out of the females, and half the time if you're F1 through F4, you're not going anywhere. This is your life.
Yeah.
So that's really sad and abusive. So he is eating like a
He
champ.
is. He really is. I'm so impressed. By now, he's usually wandered off and he's chewing on grass and yelling at people. But
I know how to pick him up.
you do. You rocked it today.
He's even eating mush.
I know. I was just thinking that. I'm like, he's eating mush. Like that wasn't spoon fed to him. Like throughout the day.
So. Any questions coming up on the show?
Nope, everybody's just like thanking you for the story and all the information. Does anybody have any last minute questions for Lynda? You can always rewatch this. It'll post automatically on our Facebook page. It'll also go to our secondary YouTube channel of dailybigcat.com. And thank you so much. We've had even more people donate and more people sharing, so thank you. He does like company while he's eating. Yep. He does not mind the chatting. He's still going for it. So he got a little bit of everything. He got the mush. He got some chicken. You said he had some fish in there.
Fish, red
I saw
meat.
some red. Yep.